The time is 3:40 p.m. The magic mushrooms have been consumed. Stay tuned. I think it's important to note that I don't vibe with society.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. My name's Jasmine. I make videos about literally everything, so just go ahead and subscribe because there's something on my channel that you're gonna vibe with. So I found some magic mushrooms. I decided, why not? I'm just gonna film the experience for you guys. We're on our way to Santa Cruz right now. We're gonna go vibe on the beach. So this is gonna be my 4th time, and Lori's like 3rd, I think. Second. You know, I think it's actually gonna be really cool. Like, there's gonna be a lot of interesting things to look at. But yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. Y'all ever been in the mystery spot? Let me know in the comments. This is Lori's first time. I've been once when I was 11. If there's one thing that Lori and I are good at, it's taking random adventures.
Spontaneous as fuck.
It also gets forced back out. Oh. But this time it comes out as vodka.
I sing like Celine Dion.
All right, you guys ready? I'm not going to sing though for your blog though, because that costs extra money. Go ahead, look at the light.
Stop for a pit stop at Beach Hut Deli. I've not eaten here in years. We're gonna eat and then go to Safeway and get some snacks and check into our hotel around like 3, and then we're gonna eat some magic mushrooms and head down to the beach.
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts. So, he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions. By thoughts, I mean specifically chatter in the skull, perpetual and compulsive repetition of words, of reckoning and calculating. I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, it's useful in moderation. A good servant, but a bad master. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because through excessive thinking they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science with the real world.
If there's anything that I've learned, 4 times fucking eating magic mushrooms, that would definitely be to try them outside and just do them outside. Make sure that the whole time you're eating magic mushrooms, she has a hat. You're outside. You're very happy, blissful. You almost feel sober when you're outside, and you just feel kind of like happy, like you should. But when you're indoors, it's very, yeah, you're just very calm. But when you're indoors, it's very overwhelming, and like it can even feel like nasty or ominous. Like, I'm not, like, that's when all the cool effects come in, is when you're inside, because you see things moving or like changing colors or whatever. But like, it's just overwhelming for your brain. And
for her, like, a lot of people do like it.
Okay, yeah,
like, don't be scared because she's saying this. A lot of people, you'll know.
You'll know how you
like.
feel.
Yeah.
Because, well, even you, like, you took them.
I just prefer to be outside with them because I just feel so calm, and I feel like you just stop and take a second to look at everything you normally wouldn't really appreciate about nature.
I think the reason that I'm saying they're meant to be taken outside, though, is because I've never really felt sober eating magic mushrooms. I've always felt like, and not overwhelmed in a bad way, just overwhelmed like there's a lot going on at all times and it's just a lot to take in.
What about taco outside though?
That was good because we were outside.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I'm trying to say is like when but we were only outside for like limited time, you know what I mean? So every time we would go inside, I'd be like, I can't do this. And remember? And I would like want to go right back outside. It's just something that like you feel more sober, more calm, more peaceful when you're outside. But if you want to experience like the chronic, like everything is moving and there's a lot of happening, then go for it. I just think it could be very like anxiety ridden if you're not in the space for it. But if you feel like that's what you want to take it, or that's what you want to eat them for, then go for it. Like, I'm not gonna say don't do that. Look at him. That's us and some third bitch, a side bitch. 3 hours in. Time is a social construct. Truthfully, genuinely, blissfully happy. Just watching the water dance. Vibing. Vibing.
I'm not trying to put you down. It's an expression of you as you are.
I feel like with only about 40 minutes left to my magic mushroom trip, I think it's important to note that I don't vibe with society. like super important, because when what I've been really focusing on in life lately has been just genuinely like spirituality, finding like the higher power and connecting to something bigger than yourself, and just living in the present, not thinking about the future or the past. I just need a second to film this real quick, sorry. And just really living your truth and just like being like openly, genuinely yourself and just living in the present, right? But I just think it's really interesting to note that like for me personally, like I just don't vibe with society when I eat magic mushrooms. I feel like that's just super interesting, because it's like if you put me in a setting like an arcade or just around people, or even in a store, I get really overwhelmed and I don't like it, and I just want to be like away from it. When, you know, like I said, I've been really focusing on like spirituality and connecting with like living in the present, which is how humans are actually meant to live. You're supposed to live in the present. You're supposed to just take life in and really look around you and look at how the world is so beautiful around you. But we don't do that. We don't let the world be beautiful because we're ignoring it. We're just like letting it pass us by, and there's so much beauty that like we're just not paying attention to on a daily basis. And I think that's why I can't, like, some people might like magic mushrooms inside, but I don't, because really realizing like this is what life is supposed to be lived. Like, this is how life is supposed to be lived. And I practice this on a day-to-day basis, but now it's forcing me to slow down and not have thoughts. It's forcing me to pay attention. But yeah, it forces you to slow down, pay attention. And when you have a thought that passes by you, like, it genuinely passes. Like, if you think about the future or the past, it just, you think about it for 5 seconds and then disappears, which is actually how humans are meant to think. You're not supposed to be so stuck in your thoughts all the time, but we are. And I think it's very interesting to me that eating magic mushrooms just brings me to my higher power, my spiritual awareness. Like, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I know I'm making sense. Maybe I'll make more sense of it later when I'm not on magic mushrooms and like re-explain it in the video. But I know exactly what I'm saying, and I need to document this. You're so sexy. Okay, so I think the point that I was trying to get across here was that basically the society that we live in forces us to constantly be bombarded by our thoughts about the future, the past, and everything that's out of our control, and just like always on social media, head is always crowded with all of these ideas and thoughts, and you're always in your head. So it's forcing you to forget being mindful. Like, humans aren't meant to be constantly consumed with thoughts. You're meant to live mindfully. You're meant to notice all your 5 senses, all the smells around you, all the things that you see around you, you hear and you feel. You're meant to like walk through life noticing all of those things at a constant rate, but we don't as humans, because every time we're walking through life, we're in our heads. We're thinking about what's going on in our heads, because that's how society has trained us to be, to help us forget like what connecting to like real life is about, and like connecting to nature. Like, we're not meant to live this like 9 to 5 schedule. We're not meant to live this like go to school, go to college, get a job, that's the only way to live life. Like slow down and look at the beauty around you. Slow down and look at nature. Slow down and look at everything around you. Like, you're supposed to connect to all of these things. You're supposed to hear them, feel them, smell them. Like, you're meant for something so much bigger than the picture that society has taught you you're meant for. Life is your birthright. They hid that in the fine print. Take the pen and rewrite it. Like, if you've never heard the song Bigger by Beyonce, go ahead and listen to that. That is about a spiritual awakening. Literally, when you wake up and realize that the life you're being, like, that's being forced down your throat and told to you is the only real way to live, like, when you wake up and realize that that's not true and that's not right, you actually reassess like how you're going through life and realize you need to start being more mindful. And a really good way to reach that is through meditation, or just like focusing in on your breathing so that you can stop and look around you. You notice things that, like, little small things that you might pass by every day that you don't even notice because you're not being mindful. Essentially, like, I found it interesting that this last time I did the magic mushroom trip, I was outside the whole entire time, which forced me, like, all the thoughts that I'd have come through my head about the future or the past or whatever things that happened that I couldn't change, they would come through and they would pass, as thoughts are meant to naturally. But I couldn't do that until I slowed down and took magic mushrooms, because magic mushrooms do help tap into a part of your brain that you normally can't tap into when you're sober, or you could, but you need a lot of like meditative practices, and that's what helps you get back to that state. And a lot of us don't meditate, and we should, because that's what really helps you to reach your higher power. That's what really helps you to get out of being so in your head and be more mindful. So that's where I was going with all of that.
They were just like, I think this is.
You got us a bottle of wine, got us some good drinks, some good eats. Fancy.
I'm just gonna put a little bit on my. I'm going for the gram.
I stopped saying that in this video.
Oh my god, smile. It's okay, smile, smile, smile.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Good vibrations. I really wonder what kind of store this is. Thinking the store was about good vibes. Me getting a little closer to the store. It's still about good vibes, just in a different way. We're heading home now. Hope you guys enjoyed the trip.
With us.
Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this trip with us.
It was fun. Dude. It was like something about because I'm not working right now because I had surgery, and Jasmine had like
One of my coworkers, or two of my coworkers, got exposed to COVID, or they had COVID, so they made everyone who was working that day that they got tested or whatever quarantine for 2 weeks. So neither of us were working for a minute.
yeah, and so we were in the mindset of just being free, time being just so like just I don't know, not being so important. And
Time is a social construct.
and so this little trip was just so freeing, and it was nice. Like we weren't thinking about time, or I don't know. It was just so relaxing. It was really, really nice, and really
that is, like if you have an iPhone and you put your camera on the live setting, when you hold down on the photo that you took, it plays it like a video. So whatever was happening while the picture was being taken is caught like a video, but you only can see it if you hold the picture down. So that way you guys have those moments in your heart forever, and you like can look back and remember. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video, because clearly you liked something about me. So but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I love you guys so much, and peace out.